Greetings, everybody. I almost forgot about this one from Samantha. This is a question that Samantha has concerning Holy Communion and using the altar railing. Is there a proper way to approach or quote unquote fill in at the altar rail during Holy Communion? Do we just walk up and kneel at an empty spot on our side? And is making the sign of the cross after receiving our Lord something that we're supposed to do, or just a plus? Um, that some people choose to do. Thank you. Okay, great. This is a good one about very is a practical one about the disposition for Holy Communion when you're coming to church and when you're approaching the actual moment of, but also spiritual disposition and how we can express that. Yeah, I mean, I think you have it right about the practicality of about the approaching the altar railing. Of course, we at St. Joe's have we don't have an altar railing, but lots of folks and what we have done lately is just rather than sort of come up double barreled to double filed down the sort of the middle aisle and sort of alternating from file to kind of two by two as Father stands up there gives Holy Communion. What we've done, and this we've been doing this for several years now, is we've made use of the entire uh, breadth of the whole. We have quite a large sanctuary, and so just we've had people line up from one end of the sanctuary down to the other end, and have found that it's actually it's quite easy. It works a little bit. It's opportune for several in several different respects. One way, it as people file in, as you mentioned, you get to approach and you get to just go to an open spot. Typically, what happens is Father's going to work from as you're facing the sanctuary. He's going to work from the right, and he's going to progress to the left. And when he gets down to the last one on the left, he's going to go all the way directly back, all the way down to the right, and start over again. So they call that sort of like typewriter style, so to speak, as opposed to um, yeah, it's typewriters. What that does is that gives everyone sort of an equal amount of time to approach and to pause and to 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 get ready to receive Holy Communion. So there's that sort of keeps it even on the part of the people who are approaching, and yeah, and it's pretty straightforward. So that's how we do it here, and lots of folks, and there's many different ways, and we want to be inclusive of all the various abilities that folks have, because lots of folks are. Some folks, can't even come up and receive Holy Communion. I'll go down. I'll go to their pew and give them Holy Communion. Other folks have a hard, somebody. We have several, or some folks have to come up in a wheelchair, which is fine, and so other folks will stand. Other folks will kneel down. Other folks um, will prefer to remain in the pew. And so there's different ways of doing things at that time, and we want to be welcoming for everybody there. Lots of folks will approach and will take advantage of the moment, and they'll actually kneel down prayerfully, which is a great way to prepare yourself. It is there that gesture. There's often indicated a gesture prior to the action of receiving Holy Communion, a gesture of reverence, either a bow is very common. And the folks, however, who are already kneeling down don't need to bow because they're already in that gesture of adoration. So anyway, so I'll come up and I'll give you Holy Communion, and then as the person as you're approaching the sanctuary and somebody in front of you has received Holy Communion and is getting and is leaving, yeah, just I mean as orderly a manner. I mean, I kind of trust everybody not to be knocking each other over, and we do have plenty of room up there, so it's not like it's a melee or anything to get to the altar rail, and so yeah, in an orderly manner, and folks are respectful of the other. But I do like how it's interesting how when you use the length of the altar rail there, it actually as it gives the person who's receiving Holy Communion more time in that actual moment in the immediate moment prior to receiving. So they're not sort of shuffling and moving up. They can actually pause and collect themselves and pray and prepare to receive Holy Communion in a very stable manner. And it's all, but actually, and as the minister, as I'm giving out Holy Communion, as Father gives out Holy Communion, it's actually, in a sense, it's easier for him because he is able to. He knows exactly where he's going. He doesn't have. It's not. He's not trying to hit a so to speak a moving target as because that interaction, that this participation in Holy Communion is as privileged a participation in the holy sacrifice that we have, and so we want to treat this with the utmost reverence and respect. And so I've found that it's actually very accommodating for everybody when we do it this way. So that's sort of a long drawn out. I want to make sure I got all your. You walk up and kneel down. Is it making the sign of cross after? Yeah. I mean, the key thing, the primary disposition after is thanksgiving, is gratitude. So yeah, you can make the sign of the cross. That's a gesture that we make with our bodies, because the body wants to pray too. I mean, your heart and soul is receiving, and your body gets to participate as well. So that's what I tell the young ones is, your body wants to pray too. That's why you genuflect. That's why you make the sign on the cross, because your body wants to get in on the action of worshiping God as well. So the sign of the cross is excellent. And then but also maintaining, because you've just received Holy Communion and you still have our Lord in Holy Communion within you now. I mean, you've taken him into you, and at least for a little while, as long as he lasts under with the in the substance of the in the appearance of bread, which you've just consumed. Of course, it's really and truly his body and blood. And as long as that he's sacramentally present, and you get to experience, even for this moment, this union of which is life for us, this participation in what our Lord is accomplishing through his sacrifice. It's immense. And that requires on the part of us as we receive a disposition primarily of gratitude, of thanksgiving. So that's what, when we go back to the pew, and that silence that is often in the church immediately after Holy Communion is a great opportunity for us, that thanksgiving. Good one, Samantha. I hadn't forgotten about you. I think. Well, I should say I thought I anyway got you covered there. So great question. All right, good. If this one is helpful, go ahead and let me know if it's or if you got any other ones, and then pass it along. Pass it to somebody else who you think might be who might have wondered the same thing or might have a similar question. And I'd love to hear more of your questions. All the best. Thanks so much.